Good afternoon, folks, and welcome inside the Credit Union Place here in Summerside, PEI, as we get set for action between the Selects and the Stars in this U18 Maritime Female Hockey League action. Live on High Button Sports. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Logan Crothers, bringing you all the action. As we're moments away from puck drop, 2:12 the local time. This game and then one more game after here on a busy weekend in Summerside, PEI, as the Stars win the face-off as Fitzpatrick controls in her own zone. Hallie Rose McLean out there to start. Here for the Selects, the leading point getter. She's on top of the leaderboard. Her and Annabelle Daniel battling up there for number 1 and 2. Daniel having a 4-point game this morning. As here's a chance back through the neutral zone, 2-on-1. Lutley kicks it to her stick and poked away by Lexi McIntyre. Cross ice pass, Arid, and Larkin will go back for it. She'll take her time, look over her options, hop off the glass into the neutral zone. McInnes works it up for Player, down low Player. Rooming around to the far side point, held in on the far side. Job to keep the line was Larkin as she gets it back in deep. Player centering pass goes through the feet of Walker and out just outside the line, and first stoppage of play as Myers tried to hold it. And we'll get to introduce the starting goaltenders. Starting in net for the Selects, number 1 Amy Field. Down 200 feet from her is also number 1 Grace Dunn, as she'll get the nod here in this afternoon matchup on this Sunday afternoon. Puck worked out into the neutral zone, sent right back on the way out. Player works it back and sent in. Good job to get it in deep is Conley. She'll give chase, turn the puck over as Fife McDonald gets it. Back to the point, D to D, off the skate. Good job to control it and get it in deep was Ella Grinton. She'll stay back at the point as the puck gets battled for down in the corner. Grinton's going to step in, try to hold the line. Good job there to pinch off the wall, and Myers will be forced to reverse back for Larkin and behind the net. Larkin wheeling up the short side. She'll stop up. Cross ice pass right onto the tape and worked out into the neutral zone by Walker as Walker gets it poked off of her stick by Hallie Rose McLean. McLean and the rest of the U18 female national silver medalist honored here in a ceremony last night in the Summerside Capitals versus Grand Falls Rapids game. It's going into the boards awkwardly there is Lila Burris. She's slow to get up now to her feet, over to the far side, work back to the point for Fitzpatrick. Stars shot there, rebound, McKenzie gathers it on the far side, back to the point. As it's worked back, nice give and go play. McKenzie works it back to the point, shot on. Blocked as Matheson's shot from the point gets worked back. Here's Hallie Rose McLean, toe drag at the blue line, works it in, backhand shot there, save, done on the opportunity by McLean. Up off the wall, chipped back to the point, held in on the far side there by, not Citrome, that's Dorion. As it gets worked out in front. Good defensive play there by Fitzpatrick as she'll work it back through the neutral zone. One-on-one, she'll kick it wide to the short side for the Captain Mullins, another one of the U18 national silver medalist. As that puck over, Player down for Mullins. McIntyre picks up that errant pass and works it up the wall under the stick on the short side there. That was intended for Rogan Vint. Up to Mullins, she'll just get a stick on it, back into the zone. That'll be worked D to D by Dorion. McIntyre centers, ends up on the stick of McLean over the blue line. McLean trying to get a shot away, still with the puck. That shot off the side of the net and in behind. Lutley collects it and works it back here for McInnes. Through the neutral zone, McInnes gets center, dumps it down to the far corner where Vint goes D to D. That'll be pinned against the wall and back trying to set things up is Sean Richards. Over to the far side, centering pass off of Lutley and back into the neutral zone now as it's picked up. Myers gets it turned over off of her stick. McLean back over the blue line trying to toe drag, but Fitzpatrick up for the task. That was number 17, Bella Fitzpatrick. His sister out there, Raina, she wears number 11, so 11 and 17. The Fitzpatricks for the Stars. Is that puck now worked to the point by Burris? Is that shot by her got blocked? She just held it in. Good forecheck down on the far corner by Allie Chisholm. She works it for Tanner, worked it back to the point. Burris DDD pass goes under the stick and out of the zone as Conley forced to dump it in. Fitzpatrick collects behind her own net. She'll take her time and work it up out of the zone, down the wall, loses it in her feet and turn back. Chisholm dumping it right in. Larkin will have to go retrieve. Far side, centering pass off the stick as the intended target was Mullins, as she'll get it out of the zone right under the stick of Lutley. Offside call as Lutley lost the handle on it. She got in over the zone before the puck is now over the line, and an offside call there as trying to drag the toe but couldn't long enough, and Chisholm was set offside there as the opportunity for Fife Francis McDonald. Will stop play as Chisholm just couldn't hold her leg back far enough and long enough for McDonald to get over the line. So that'll send over Hallie Rose McLean and Lexi McIntyre, another member of that U17 or U18 silver medalist at the National. As that puck sent into the corner, McLean to it first, pressured by Larkin. Puck worked back to the point. That's going to be walked across, and Boyle will get the shot off. McIntyre down the wall. Matheson took it off of her and chipped back into the neutral zone. Pressured there by Walker. Over to the far side, Mullins sends it in just inside the zone. Walker tries to get it in deep, ends up into hitting a glove off the subway bench, and that'll stop play. Here, still tied at 0, 14 minutes exactly remaining on the clock. 6 minutes expiring here so far in the opening period. Still nothing the score. So we await the first goal of the game as Walker picks it up at center ice, wheels it in over the blue line. She'll dump it down in low around to the far side on her backhand as that'll be sent out into the neutral zone right away. Taking no chances with that was Carrie Dorion as player, looking for some room out there as she'll circle back all the way into her own zone. That goes off the stick of Walker. No icing call. Feel it, her arm up in the air. McIntyre back with it down the far side and up into the neutral zone. Lexi McIntyre is going to give chase. Pressure here. Fitzpatrick evades the pressure and works it back as the Subways look to regroup in the neutral zone. Pushed ahead and gathered up. Taking her time with it is Bradley is sent up the wall. McKenzie trying to get it in. Second chance. Now she does off. Lutley was offside and heads up. Her head buried. Almost got picked off her stick. Now worked in over the line. Getting it in deep with Sean Richards as Larkin back for it. Chipping it up off the boards and back to the point. Here's a shot. Doyle goes off of McLean right off her back. Up near her shoulders as it gets held in. The Stars looking to clear. Now they do. Up the wall. Bradley in a battle. Lutley in there. McKenzie trying to get it in deep. Boyle works up the far side, over the far side blue line, and working up puck in is McCaddy. She'll dump it cross corner. Myers, D2D. McCaddy in on the forecheck. Larkin trying to work it. Lutley in there to help out. She works up to the wall where McGuigan is. That's turned over. Here's a shot on the ice by McLean. Steered away by Dunn. Mullins gathers the rebound and works it for McGuigan. She'll drag the foot, get in, onside, but turned away and pushed back. Here come the Subways over the blue line, dumping it in, and they'll give chase was Allie Chisholm. Far side, Matheson. To the point, held in, sent wide off the glove side of the stick of Lila Burris from the far side point as she's now over in the far wall. She'll step down a little bit. Stopping player. She'll reverse it back here. Mullins short side, flipping it into the neutral zone as Burris controls it. Getting some pressure from McGuigan off of her skate. Burris going to have to go back for it and take it in behind her net. She'll stop up and use her net As a little bit of coverage, as now she'll work it up for Chisholm, who touches center and dumps it in. She'll peel off for a change. All 5 sets of fresh legs out there now for the Subways. As it's worked back at center, picked off of the stick and worked right back. Here comes Hallie Rose McLean. Nice move around one, gets it knocked off her stick, and Walker collects it. Back in behind her net, Walker wheeling, touching it up ahead, back in. Here's Hallie Rose McLean in front. Here's a chance at a big save by Dunn, as point blank in front all alone was Anna MacArthur. She looks to break the scoring open here. Matheson battles for it, worked back. Hallie Rose McLean picks it off on net and held on to for a whistle. 10:46 remaining here in the opening period. The Subways with a little bit of pressure here. McLean and the top line with McHattie and MacArthur out there buzzing around the offensive zone, and the face-off will stay inside blocker hand side of Grace Dunn, who came up with a big save to keep this one knotted up at 0. Martin on the draw. Ends up working it low, but worked out now here by the Stars was McKenzie at center. Dumps it in just inside the blue line and down low. Sent around far side. Looking to chip it out and does so as Larkin will control it back in the neutral zone. Off the stick and into the bench over into the Eastern Stars bench, and that'll be whistled down for a face-off right in front of their bench here on a stoppage of play. 10:21 remaining. Opening period still tied up at 0. Face-off, Lutley wins it back, chipping it out, but it goes back to the other side where Boyle pins it on the wall. Nice move by Boyle to work it in over the line. Boyle dumping it down in and behind the goal of Dunn, where Bradley retrieves it. Looking through the middle, under the skate and back into the neutral zone, right off the bench. Trying to control the puck and control the play is Ashton McHattie. Turned over Lutley. Here's a chance, poked off of her stick by Boyle. Boyle back to the point, out past Bradley, and Larkin will have to go retrieve. She's getting some pressure by McLean. Up to the far side. Over in between the benches. The puck full of snow. Kind of got lost. Here's a chance. Mullins, shot sent wide off the stick. Rebound off the end wall, held on to by Field, and a stoppage of play here with 9:34 remaining. Opening period still. No scorers here for either team in this game. Subways having their fair share of offensive zone time. Puck drop, McLean centers all the way to the far side. That's McHattie working it in down low off the end boards, and same similar play as we just saw down 200 feet onto the goal. As my apologies to the goaltender in net for the Selects. That's Lydia Mason. My apologies, could only see the one from where I was. So Lydia McDonald in net, or sorry, Lydia Mason in net here for the Selects. But it is number 1, Grace Dunn, in for the Stars. My apologies, Lydia, as that puck battled along the end boards 200 feet from her as it's picked up. Player centering pass onto the stick of Walker. She crosses over the Capitals logo here at center ice and dumps it on down in deep. She'll give chase, her and Burris, as Burris works up the wall for Richards. She'll chip it back all the way to the point though, and held in by Fitzpatrick. Down for Walker. Pinched off there and behind by Conley as she gathers that puck up and works it here for McLean. 1-on-2 through the neutral zone. McLean over the blue line tries to get a shot away, and stepped up on there by Bella Fitzpatrick. And over to the far side, Gradone trying to work it into center, and now she gets center and she works it down the far side. Gradone, shot from distance, floated up, blockered away as that one kind of rainbowed in. Had to be careful with that, could have fallen in behind her. Here's Lydia Mason, sharpen up for the task. Tanner stops up just inside her own blue line. Backhand flip all the way into the zone, and the Stars work it right back. Here come the Stars, dumping it off the glass, and an icing call here. And the goaltender was out of the net. That should take away the icing, as Mason was out of the net and out of her crease to play it. and then went back into her crease, but once the goalie leaves to go play the puck, that takes away the icing. And a missed call there, potentially, as Mason was out of her net. I thought that was pretty close to being to the red line, but no, says the official. Face-off, Stars zone. Larkin up in the air, battled, chipped up into the neutral zone off the stick, as Boyle will collect it in her own zone. Picked off Bradley, though, under her stick, as here's a chance. McLean lets a shot go into the chest of Dunn and held on to for a whistle. Dunn, no rebound there, as that hit her right at the bottom of the E on that Stars logo. McLean on the offensive zone draw, as she'll face off against Player. Wins it back to the point, shot blocked. Great job there by Mullins, sacrificing her body. As that puck now works its way back out into the neutral zone, Mullins will just get it back as Boyle off the wall. That goes right onto the stick of MacArthur as the shot's blocked. McLean on the shot block, rebound, centers in front, slot shot on the ice and tipped away by her own teammate in front. Was Evelyn McLeod, I believe. Her number tucked into her pants, so I couldn't see the whole number, but I believe it was Evelyn McLeod as that gets sent in and chased down by Mila Martin. Down low, she'll battle with Bradley on the end wall. Puck still there, into support and work it up the half wall is Lutley, as she'll battle now on the wall as puck still trying to get worked up to the point. Shot there sent wide as the shot came off the stick of Ainsley Conley, as she'll step up to try to hold it in on the half wall. Still on the half wall, work back. Conley shot, glove save, rebound off the glove, cleared over. Burris dumps it down in deep, collected by Bradley. She'll stop up, pressured though, and a turnover on the forecheck there by Morrow. Kate Morrow, good forecheck there. She wears an assistant captain letter for the Subway Selects this year. Centering pass right onto her stick, but into her feet and turned over. Here's Player over the blue line, down. She's going to drive that as low as she possibly can. She centers, but it ends up onto the stick of the opposing team, and Ashton McHattie, who finds McLean through the neutral zone over the blue line. McLean trying to get a shot away around the defenseman. That's going to be a delayed call as Sean Richards chopped out the feet of number 19 in Larkin, and that'll draw a call here. It'll be 2 minutes for tripping, and Sean Richards will have to sit for 2 or less with 5:51 remaining on the clock. Here in the opening period, still no score on the board, as an opportunity now on the power play for the Stars to break open the score box. As that puck poked down by Larkin, clearing attempt, held in, and now off the skate and out as Larkin tried to hold the line. Fitzpatrick reverses right onto the stick of Larkin. She works it over center, cuts to the middle of the ice, and now over the blue line. And an offside call there. Lutley got excited and in over the blue line and sets her defenseman offside. Face off over in front of the Subway bench. 19 seconds expired here on the power play. Fitzpatrick for Larkin. Up over center, Larkin, right by the castle sign, dumps it over to the far side where Mullins gets to it. Poked past her though, nice active stick to get it out. Past her and clearing is McHattie as that puck up over the blue line, trying to get it in deep past McIntyre. She'll have to go back. Lutley giving chase with Player out there to help out. Player to Mullins, that goes up over her stick as Fitzpatrick works it back. Mullins shot sent wide. Larkin, short side, works it down to the half wall. Lutley turns it over on a shot there. Rebound, kicked out in front, and that'll be cleared out of the zone and all the way down by Lexi McIntyre. She'll head off for a change for new sets of killers out there for the Selects. Fitzpatrick works it wide. Here's McInnes across the blue line down to the hash marks. She stepped on by Boyle, and Boyle rims around to the far side. And down, Fitzpatrick lets a shot go. That's sent wide. She'll head off for a change now, and puck out into the neutral zone. Matheson, cross ice pass, doesn't connect cleanly. Myers right off the bench over the blue line. She'll work it in. McLean, backhand clearing attempt is worked out. Good job to poke it out. Ella Grinton with the second effort off the backhand attempt by McLean. Right in front of the penalty box. 5 seconds remaining on the power play here for the Stars. They couldn't capitalize on the power play chance as it's worked up far side through the neutral zone. Now here's Mackenzie off of her skate, and the Stars look to get on the forecheck. She'll dump that in. Gridone will give chase far side into the corner. Nice little reverse play as that goes onto the stick of Carly Boyle and up to the wing. Centering pass goes through the skates of Frances McDonald as it goes up all the way down. Pressuring is Mackenzie. She'll give chase. Good job to avoid that was Ainsley Conley down to the far side, and reverse play there is its opportunity down low. And that could be a call. No, they'll play on here as they're tied up still down in behind the net. Lutley will forecheck. Mullins reads that play and turns it over down low. Mullins gonna forecheck. She gets a stick in there as she tries to get the puck back as it's worked out into the neutral zone. Off the skate of Chisholm, she turns it over. Dumping attempt from Player, hits the linesman. Lots of bodies all over the place as coming out with it is Player's shot high and into the glove for a whistle with 2:42 remaining here in the opening period. Bodies all over the ice on the far side just outside the blue line, and Player picked the puck up and worked it back over the line, let a shot go. It was going high as Lydia Field elected to hold on and stop play, settle things down, and that puck rimmed over far side and out into the neutral zone. The D-to-D pass back in behind Fitzpatrick. She'll have to go all the way in behind the goal line and reverse play Mullins. Good job to protect the puck and chip it out to the neutral zone. McIntyre sends it back in on a turnover from Player. Fitzpatrick, stretch pass for Player, 2-on-1. Player, nice pass, here's a chance, shot, scores! What a shot there over the blocker side, and Walker breaks open the scoring here, and the Eastern Stars are up by 1 with just over 2 minutes remaining here in the first period. What a pass and what a shot, ripping it home past the blocker on a nice feed from Player as Braylon Walker snaps that opportunity home, and a 1-0 lead now for the Stars over the Selects here on this Sunday afternoon matchup. Turnover shot deflected. McLean into her skates, and she'll have to get back now. Chipped up ahead. Good read though by Boyle as she'll step up and play it back in towards the zone. Matheson stepping up, trying to get it in deep. That goes under the stick of Boyle and back into their zone. Boyle hard off the boards into the neutral zone, and Matheson collects it up off the glass. Lutley trying to get it in deep. Mackenzie now in her feet. There is Gridone as that puck will be picked up and wheeled back into her own zone. Poked off of her stick, and trying to work it around was Rogan Vint. She has the puck now as that's Kate Morrow, number 11 for the Selects. As Morgan Vint now has it, she works it back to the point. High point shot there, can't make it all the way to the net, and it's picked up and wheeled out of the zone, and touching center, dump it in is Larkin. Field out to stop the puck. She'll leave it there. Burris on her nice spin reverse play there for Conley. Cross ice pass as the Selects going east to west and dumped in and peeling off for a change. Kate Morrow. Fitzpatrick right onto the stick. Player through the neutral zone over the blue line. Player's going to work her way in. Drop it back. Myers shot sent wide as we're inside the last minute of play here in the opening period. Shot from Walker looking for more. Rebound sat loose. Trying to find the rebound was Player as Walker and Player looking to connect and make it 2-0 here late in the period. Braylon Walker opening the scoring here on a nice feed under the defender's stick. Coming off the stick of Player. Cadence Player down low. She tried to work it back for Walker here. Half a minute now remaining. Mullins trying to work it towards the net. Can't get enough on it as McLean picks it up on the half wall and wheels up through the neutral zone. Getting center and pestered by Mullins and turned over. And back into the zone goes McIntyre. She'll escape up the wall. McLean receives it on her backhand. She'll chip it all the way in deep and peel off for a change where that'll be chased down and pressured by McCaddy to kill off the last few seconds. And that'll do it here for the first period of action between the Stars and the Selects. Thanks for tuning in for the opening period. We'll be back here in about 10 minutes time for second period of action as the Stars lead 1-0. Welcome back here for a second period of action. 1-0 lead here for the Stars coming into the second period. Goal coming off the stick of number 10, Braylon Walker. A nice feed from Cadis Player, and they have the opening goal here as we get set for puck drop, and we are underway inside the Credit Union Place here in Summerside. PEI, as we are live on High Button Sports. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Logan Crothers, and this is the second last game of this Summerside Showcase Weekend Tournament here in Summerside as the Stars and the Selects playoff here as Lutley's going to give chase. A delayed call coming up as Lutley touches up the puck, stops play here just over or just under half a minute into the period, and it'll be a power play for the Selects on a hooking call as Lutley heads to the box. 2 minutes for hooking will be the call. And the Selects on a power play. Selects sending out Hallie Rose McLean as well with Anna MacArthur and Fife Francis McDonald out there as well for the forwards. Lila Burris and Lexi McIntyre on the point as McLean stops up, pressured by Player, works it down for McDonald. Back for McIntyre, over for Burris. Back to McIntyre, down the far side wall. McLean back for the point, and McIntyre out past her, and Mason out to stop it there. That's Lydia Mason. Goes into the corner, and McIntyre will gather it. Find the stick of McLean and poked away from her. Mullins down for Walker, who will pressure, centering pass as Mullins stayed back in a good defensive position as let Player do her thing on the forecheck as it's worked up by Burris, and she'll dump a chase. In behind the Stars net is the defenseman, Lila Burris, in there trying to work it up in behind on the end wall. Is MacArthur in there to help her out. She picks that puck up, works it up the half wall and down low for McDonald. Backdoor pass goes off a body in front and in. As Larkin tried taking the pass away, it went off of her. And I think Fife Francis McDonald's going to get credited for the goal. MacArthur's going to pick up the assist, and we're knotted up at 1 now. Sunday afternoon matchup, and a tight one here, as I believe it's going to be number 19 picking up the goal in Fife Francis McDonald. MacArthur should get the assist, as well as McIntyre, who dished it down to her on the wall. And we're tied up here at 1. Lutley out of the box and right back onto the ice as it'll be sent into the Stars zone. Gathered up off a stick up into the air. Trying to hold the line was Boyle. It goes out and offside now, and tagging up and giving chase is Tanner. So a power play goal for the Selects. No assist on the goal. Saying the official, I believe, though, it was MacArthur who worked it out, so I'm going to give her the assist on that goal as it's picked off on a centering pass. Lutley will send it down past McKenzie. She'll look for it. Will it have enough juice to get down? And yes, it will, just trickling over the line in a stoppage of play here. 17:40 remaining in the second period. Icing call here will send the Stars back into a defensive zone draw as Hallie Rose McLean hopping over the boards now here once again in the offensive zone. She's out with number 16, MacArthur, as well as number 8, Evelyn McLeod. McLean's shot whistles wide, picked up, chipped off the glass, back to the point and held in by Conley. She fans on the shot. McLeod shot glove down and held on to by Grace Dunn for the whistle. She'll stop play and allow the Stars to get in a change. Defensive zone draw for the Stars. One to the wall by McLean. Player and McLean looking to battle for it, and they both overskate the puck. Mullins out there as well with Player and McGuigan here in the defensive zone. Puck worked back. Here's a chance. Mullins. She has a break. She has numbers. Mullins shot into the chest and held on to as that went right into the Selects logo. And a whistle there by Mason. Lydia Mason getting the start here in this afternoon's matchup against the Eastern Stars. McLean's going to stay out. Mullins, Player, and McGuigan still on the ice there as they'll like this, the Stars like this matchup as it's worked back. Shot on, tipped as that hit the glove of McLean on the way through towards the net and into the corner. Worked up for MacArthur. McLean stretch pass too far out of her reach, and a move at the red line by Fitzpatrick, who the puck went off of her stick, and it's gathered up and worked. Here's a chance for McLeod over the blue line. Drop pass, walking it in, shot off the head of Dunn as McLean on the nice drop pass there from McLeod as McLean down low trying to spin away for some pressure. She's pinched off there by Bradley. Is off the bench now is Rogan Vint trying to get it back in down low. Shot there from McLean, blocked, and centering pass will be picked off. Rogan Vint down low now. And behind the net on her backhand, she'll cycle it out in front, spinning on her forehand. Shot there, blocked. Another opportunity as it worked out to the point. McIntyre, miscommunication there with her defense partner in Carrie Dorion, and they were lucky to keep that in. And a delayed call here. Dorion at the point, works it D to D. McIntyre, point shot, tipped wide, and that'll stop play here. We'll wait to see the call, and an interference call coming up as that'll be Bella Fitzpatrick who's going to go to the box. Two minutes for interference, the call, as Bella Fitzpatrick heads to the box, and now in a 1-1 game, the Selects with a power play here. They capitalize on the last opportunity as McLean right back out on the ice, loses the draw as that goes off the glass and into the neutral zone, and McIntyre will have to go retrieve that puck all the way back in behind her net. She'll stop, or no, she'll keep it going. Thought she was going to slow down and set things up, but she keeps things moving as McLean now through the middle of the ice over the blue line, drives it down and sets things up over on the far side. Back for McIntyre, shot, rebound, pad save, and that'll be held on to by Dunn as the rebound sat there, and another big save by Dunn to keep this one knotted up at 1. Face off to her glove hand side. Mullins will dig in against McLean, former teammates at the U18 National Championship, and that will send out McLean. Face off. Mullins trying to break through. Shot there off the crossbar and up off the glass and over to the far side. McIntyre works it back for Burris. High point. Shot. Tipped off the crossbar and behind. Dunn looking for it as the defenseman Myers knew where it was. She went to retrieve it but turns it over as it worked back to the point. Burris for McIntyre. Shot. Sent wide past the blocker side and over here. Up off the wall. Cycled back down by McIntyre. Mullins picks the pass off intended for Burris and sends it down. No icing. The first minute of the power play has expired here for the Selects. McIntyre right up the middle as that goes and finds the stick of the forward, Kate Morrow, who works it in, drops it back. Burris for McIntyre, walks in, shot blocked. And behind the net, working it back to the point is McLeod, who finds Burris, who walks it in, shot blocked by Matheson. Burris trying to find it and ends up on the stick of McIntyre. High point. She'll make a move to the outside and dump it back down low for McLeod. Evelyn McLeod cuts towards the net, and that doesn't find its way there as Burris steps in from the point. Lutley chips it back into the neutral zone, and McIntyre inside of her zone, about just a foot or two in there, works it to the far blue line as centering pass goes and gets broken up by Larkin. Down low, back to the point. Boyle, got to be careful as Bella Fitzpatrick out of the box gets in. She'll cover for the center position as Noelle Lutley will. She'll play the left wing here as that puck to the point but not out. Good hold there at the far side blue line, and Chisholm trying to work it towards the middle of the ice. Gets it knocked off of her stick. Sent back in down low. No call on the play there. They'll play on. I thought maybe a trip call coming up in the Subways. We're going to go back to the power play, but Matheson will gather it in behind her net. chipping it off the boards. Fitzpatrick, nice job as a defenseman playing the left wing here. Fitzpatrick getting out of her zone. Larkin picking off the pass, trying to get it in deep as Tanner tried to collect it. That was Bria Tanner as Boyle hard rimming it up the wall, picked off Mullins, thought she had it, and it went past her. Meyer stepping up at the red line, and that goes back in deep. Player's going to give chase. Nice little reverse play. Carly Boyle finds the stick of Bria Tanner. Centering pass goes off the stick of Frances McDonald and sent back in by Fitzpatrick. Walker will give chase. She's got the goal for the Stars. Turned over. Here's Mullins off the half wall. Mullins, backdoor scores! Ellie Mullins, what a pass! And Walker has her second goal of the afternoon. And the Stars lead 2-1 here inside the Credit Union place. What a feed by Ellie Mullins, just showing you why she has a silver medal at the U18 National Championships on that play right there, reading the breakout perfectly, picking the pass off, and a nice feed as picking up her second goal of the game is going to be number 10, Braylon Walker. She's got 2, so she's on hat trick watch. Got to be careful there as McLean works it up over the blue line, looking to answer back as that shot sent wide past the far side. Past the blocker is on the far side. Bradley will battle for it. Gradone on the half wall. Can't get it out though, and that's sent back down in behind by McLeod. So Mullins picking up the primary assist. She'll have an assist here as of right now, the go-ahead goal in this game as Conley back off the boards and into the neutral zone. Back in her own zone, got to be careful. Fitzpatrick, or sorry, that was Larkin who was having to try to settle things down. And another call coming up here is going down on the far side was Martin, and a tripping call coming up here as the Stars got to kill off another penalty. That'll be Autumn Bradley going to the box. 2 minutes for tripping will be the call, and another power play coming up here for the Northern Subway Selects. Hallie Rose McLean on the draw. Wins it back to the far side point. Cycled back down for McLean, who gives it back to McIntyre. McIntyre DDD to Burris out of her reach, and she'll have to battle for it now on the wall. Isla Burris leaves it there as that'll be controlled by MacArthur down the gut. Shot there, sent wide. She might have been looking for the stick of Fife Frances McDonald. Burris for McIntyre. Back to Burris. Walks in, shot blocked, and now a 2-on-1 back the other way. Player, as that was McInnes who blocked the shot. Thought Player was going to cut across. She heads off for the change. Player heads to the bench on the back check and gets some fresh legs out now. Nice move by MacArthur. She'll walk it. Look back door as McLean had it knocked off of her stick by Fitzpatrick into the corner. McLean for McIntyre at the point. McIntyre, nice little escape move there on the far side. McIntyre, D-to-D. Burris, shot, blocked. Larkin doing everything she can. She got her glove up in front of her body to make sure that didn't hit her in the stomach as it's cleared out by the Stars as they cleared a minute off the power play here for the Selects so far. Burris collects behind her net and wheels it up the short side. Centering pass worked in here by McLeod. Sorry, that's Sean Richards. Richard down the far side. She'll cut across top of the circle. Shot sent wide. Over to the short side here now. Stepping in from the point is Carly Boyle. Lutley trying to kick it out. She lost her stick on the play. Worked back to the point. Boyle trying to keep it in, and now it's worked out. Here's an opportunity. Walker looking for three. Walker in short-handed shot. Rebound. Still loose and now controlled. As a short-handed chance for the hat trick coming off the stick of Braylon Walker. She's got both for the Stars. She looks for her third, and an opportunity short-handed presented itself. She let the shot go. Rebound was there, but finding it Lydia Mason holds on, and a face-off to her glove hand side now here. 15 seconds remaining on the power play for the Selects. Push forward shot there by Player. Smart play. Player not trying to win it back and turned over as she ran to the official. Player picks up off the turnover on the, I guess, pick play by the official, I guess you could kind of call it. She was kind of, I think, stuck, lost in la-la land there. She wasn't near the boards where most officials would have been. The defenseman cut up the ice and ran right into her, and that caused the turnover. Far side Mullins getting some sticks in there as she broke up a couple passes, and back to 5-on-5 action now as it gets rimmed around the glass. Staying up on the boards to the point. Dorion cycling it back down low. Lutley gets it. She'll rim it around. Getting a stick on it though as Rogan Vint. It'll slow it down. Lutley picks it up and works it out into the neutral zone. Lutley chipping it wide, and now she'll rim it in. She gets held up by McIntyre on the far side, giving her defense partner tons of time to make a play as it's out into the neutral zone. Myers in her own zone. Chip pass right onto the stick of Walker. Braylon Walker has 2 for the Stars. No call there. She gets taken down. Chip off the boards. Doesn't make it out, though, and cycled down low. Bria Tanner chipping it into the corner for herself. She has Allie Chisholm out there with her, as well as Francis McDonald. And that shot from the point goes off the shin pad of Myers and in. And Carrie Dorion has tied it up at 2 from a point shot off the shin pad of Myers and in. And Dorion has tied it up here at 2 apiece. Seemingly innocent shot from the outside point by the Tim Hortons side, just inside the line. She kind of just shuffled it towards the net. It went off the body of the fenceman Stella Myers and in, and now we're tied up here at 1 apiece. 2 apiece. With a bit of a delay on the Selects bench as Bria Tanner is bent over in behind the forwards there by the sticks in the corner. Is back to play as McLean looking to get the lead here. They've yet to lead in this one. They trailed 1-0, tied it up, and then trailed 2-1 here in Summerside as they've yet to have the lead. Stay tuned for the game after this one. The Rockets will face off against the Western Wolves, the PEI squad from the other side of the province, against the Moncton team, the first place Moncton team against the 8th place Western Wolves here following this game live on High Button Sports. Puck in the neutral zone. Nice move by Burris, but loses the handle on it, and Player picks it up and tries to work it back into the zone. Burris pinching her off on the wall. Grudon in there with Hallie Rose McLean battling. Worked back D to D. Nice move by Conley around 2 and works it up. MacArthur cuts to the middle, shot blocked. Good job to get the shin pads closed there was Bradley. As the Stars now with some momentum, keeping the forecheck going here as Fitzpatrick wheels, chips it up the wall, and it's collected. McGuigan centering pass picked off by Sean Richards, and that's turned over now. McGuigan has Mullins with her. McGuigan shot there over to the far side corner, and Lutley off the bench, centering pass. Mullins shot sent wide as she couldn't really get much on it. The puck was bouncing around her feet. She just got whatever she could and threw it towards the net. As that puck cleared to the point, Larkin holds it in, backhands it down low. Mullins will head off for a change. Lutley as well. Good offensive zone shift for them there. Walker off the bench and into the action. Puck worked back, dumped in around from the far corner into the short side and sent back to the point. Larkin gets a stick on it and holds it in. Good job there at the point by the defenseman for the Stars was Maya Larkin, as it's battled out now into the neutral zone, pinned against the wall and poked into the neutral zone middle of the ice as Matheson steps up, pokes it ahead. Walker knocked off of her stick. Fitzpatrick gathers up and, that's Larkin, dumps it in. Maya Larkin here for the Stars having a pretty good game. She's had a couple shot blocks as well. I believe both the goals for the Selects have been own goals. Here in this one is Fitzpatrick. Goes back all the way in behind her goal line to pick the puck up, work it up the far side wall. We've got to be careful as change for the Selects, almost causing havoc and a turnover. Larkin centers right onto the stick of Mullins, who picks it up. Nice feed there. Mullins dishes it wide down the far side. Shot past the blocker and wide, as that was a good opportunity for Brooklyn McKenzie as that shot from the point fanned on, picked up and chipped out into the neutral zone, where Fitzpatrick just inside the red line trying to get it in deep. Puck's worked up ahead. Good job there by Conley to get it ahead. Rogan Vint works it in her feet, backhanding towards the net and can't do so. Good job by Myers to stick with it. She'll battle in the corner. Mullins in there to support. She picks it up and works it up the wall. And a nice little reverse play. McGuigan finds Mullins. She looks for some options. Mullins, nice job patiently spinning off some checks over to the far side. Trying to work it out is Lutley. Lutley and Mullins out there together with McGuigan. Puck cleared to center as that puck down the far side wall all the way down, and a delayed icing call. As I thought they were pretty close to center. I thought maybe they're just going to keep the play moving here, but no, says the official. Brought out the measuring stick for that one and said, no, Ellie, you were not to center ice. You still had another 6 inches to go. And a face-off will bring them all the way back. No change for the Stars. Mullins going to stay out there and take the draw. In her own zone, 4:24 here remaining in the second period. Battled for here off the draw and chipped back into the corner. McGuigan, backhands reverse to Lutley on the far side wing. She tries to chip it out past the forecheck, though, of the Selects. Conley holds the line and chips it back down. Fitzpatrick almost gets tripped up. She'll stay on her feet as now Fitzpatrick centers. Bouncing puck goes over the stick of McGuigan as Lutley now can change. Nice little move. Burris trying to push it right back. Mullins changing and Burris over the line. Burris shot pad save by Dunn. Grace Dunn having 2 own goals allowed here, and the only reason they're tied is because of bouncing pucks in that found the way in behind her. Centering pass, McDonald. That's Fife. Francis McDonald couldn't get the shot away as now she collects it down low. She'll spin away from one player in there to help out. Good job supporting her defenseman was Player. She picked up an assist on the opening goal as that gets shuffled down the wall. Richards trying to work it back down low. Player sticking with it and gets it out right onto the stick of Walker. Braylon Walker works in on Burris, and Burris with a nice defensive play shuts down Walker. Walker will head to the bench. Kind of defeated. She thought she might have had a step, but a great defensive play there by Lila Burris. Turned over. Here's a chance. Grooved on. Here's a 1-on-0. Shot up over the net as it flipped up on her blade. Back to the point. Larkin just holds the line. Sends it back in deep. McKenzie will give chase. Burris to it first. Burris high off the boards. Now up to the point. Bradley trying to hold it, gets chipped past her, but Bradley makes up for it and chips it right back in. Good stick there by Bradley to reach back and keep the puck from going back the other way. Conley inside her blue line. Cross ice pass goes in front of everyone, and that'll be Bradley who collects in her own zone. She'll stop up and find refuge behind her net. Wait for some wingers as that puck found the stick of Carly Boyle, and she'll send it back in down the half wall. Lutley out there now, here with McGuigan. They battle, and a no call there. Centering pass goes wide. Lutley in behind the net. Battles with Bradley for it as it goes up the wall. Centering pass, and that goes onto the stick. Bobbled, though, and sending it right back here. The Selects will have to tag up. Lutley's going to take her time. Under 2 minutes remaining here in the second period. McGuigan up ahead. That finds the stick of Mullins. She tries to break around Boyle. Can't do so. Hard rim to the far side off the bench. Player sends it back down low. Mullins, and that'll draw a call as Player took a bump there. And it looks like it's going to be number 10, Mila Martin, who's going to go to the box for a body contact call with 1 minute and 31 seconds remaining in the second period. Tied at 2 as the Selects are going to have to kill off a power play here from the Stars See if the Stars maybe try to take some time here, maybe a timeout as they're tied up at 2 here near the end of the second period. 29 seconds of the power play carrying over into the third. If they can't capitalize here in the second. Larkin shot tipped, but it goes wide. Over to the far side. Player gets it poked past her. Dorion clearing attempt, makes it all the way out. There's a backhand attempt there, all the way down. And in, here's Fitzpatrick, stops up behind her net. All 4 of the ladies back to swing. 3 to one side, 1 to the other. Mullins off the boards around her, and that cleared into the bench on the far side, into, I think, to the Stars bench. And coming up with the save over there on the bench is number 30 for the Stars. That's Tegan Young, staying sharp. Not in between the pipes here tonight, but still getting a little bit of action over on the bench. Inside a minute now, Fitzpatrick can't work it over the blue line. It'll be sent back in between the blue lines and worked up Mullins, backhanding it in to the corner, and it ended up finding its way to the far side. McIntyre, dump in attempt goes off of the forecheck, and 2 dump out attempts go off the forecheck. Lutley blocking one, Mullins blocking one. She's kind of worse for wear. You could tell it kind of took a bite out of her off the leg. Shot in and glove save, held on to as Mullins rubbing her leg down there on the, looked like her right side, so maybe the clearing attempt must have hit her leg. She's trying to shake it off. She'll stay out here. Under half a minute remaining in the second period. Tied at 2. The Stars on the power play. 29 seconds of it will carry over if they can't capitalize here in the last half a minute. Burris in the corner. Pressured, Player gets it out to Mullins, down in behind the net. Mullins walks it out, reverses in behind for Player. Under 20 seconds, back for Fitzpatrick. Cross ice pass, bobbled by Larkin into the corner. McLean tries to clear it, goes off the shin pad here with 9 seconds remaining. Shot there, Lutley gets blocked. Mullins on the half wall to the point. Fitzpatrick one-timer looking for a Player to try to bury it home, and that can't find the stick of hers, and that'll do it here for the second period of play. So after 2 periods of action, we're tied up at 2. We'll be back here for the third period of play live on High Button Sports from the Credit Union Place in Summerside, PEI. After this 10-minute intermission. Welcome back here for a third period of action live on High Button Sports from the Credit Union Place here in Summerside, PEI, as we get set for a third period of action. A power play carrying over here for the Stars as helmet to helmet is Player and McLean. Right off the draw, worked in. Here's Walker, one-on-one. Walker's shot, trying to work it right through the feet there on the shot attempt, but it was blocked. Down low, Player cycles for Walker in behind the net. Walker, drop pass, gets stuck on some wet ice, and it goes all the way down by Lexi McIntyre. Larkin, power play expiring. She works it out. Puck sticking here a little bit to start the third period. Mullins picks it up in her defensive zone, works it up through the neutral zone, down the far side wall. Walker will stop up and let her work it in. Mullins was heading off for a change. She'll leave it there. She kind of looked like she was going to shoot it hard and kind of just eased up and maybe tried to find Walker, who was driving the net. Couldn't connect, though, as McLean trying to work it out with McIntyre. McInnes in there battling with McLean and McIntyre as well. It looks like Sean Richards in there trying to help out. McIntyre coming out with the puck, far side. Up the far wall, is that'll be picked up just inside the blue line. Now it's turned over. There's a shot there, is cutting to the middle. I thought might have lost possession of the puck, but she stayed with it. And following the play up, picking it off, was Ashton McCaddy, and she let the shot go and went into the chest, and a whistle forced there by Grace Dunn. Offensive zone draw. Francis McDonald centering the line of Allie Chisholm and Bria Tanner here in the third period. Puck worked up into the feet of McInnes, can't clear it out. As good job there by Tanner to try to get it in deep. That puck now will get sent out of the zone as it bounced over the stick of Ella Grinton, and Boyle dumping it in. Dunn out to stop it. Puck around to the far side. Gridone can't control it, and Carly Boyle sending it right back in off the skate and worked up. Here's Lutley with some speed. Nice move around one. Lutley in, shot off the head there. Using her head to make the save. In between the pipes for the Stars is number 31, Lydia Mason, here this afternoon, and a big save there to keep them tied up as the Selects yet to lead here in the game. 2 goals from Braylon Walker here in the first and second period as they were up 1-0, then they were tied 1-1, and then they took a 2-1 lead, gave that up, and now we're tied up here as McLean on the forecheck. Myers picks off the clearing attempt as that went off a body all the way down past Burris. Delicing in the air, and that as soon as he hits the center or the goal line, whistled down, and an icing call here, charged to the Stars, and a face-off going to go all the way back into their zone. Thought maybe they were going to let them keep playing. The puck kind of went right past Burris on the far side. Thought maybe someone could have got to it, but no, says the official. We'll have a face-off here. McLean digging in. Hallie Rose McLean on the draw. Snaps it right back cleanly. Here's Conley. Point shot, looking for the stick of McLean. Can't find it as she was trying to tip it on. Walker chips it out to the line. Burris will peel it out as an offside. Wanted by the Stars. Will, I think, maybe force that. Player keeps it in. Player has Walker back door. Player shot there, trying to find the streaking Walker back door. Goes off a skate. Player shot into the chest and held on to for a whistle. Player with 2 great opportunities here. Just over 3 minutes has expired in the third period, tied up at 2. Selects looking to get back here. They yet to lead in this game. Walker down low. She'll cycle for Lutley. Centers off the back of the net, though, and back into the corner. Walker cycles. Picked up McIntyre. Far side, reverse play. Walker read it perfectly and into the corner. She knocks off of her stick, and that'll be played around for McIntyre in the far corner. She'll spin around off of one. McIntyre in front of her net. Got to be careful. She went right through the goal crease. Works it up. Rogan Vint drop pass out of the zone, and the Select's forced to tag up. That'll give time for Matheson. Up in the air, here for Mullins, can't control it on the bouncing puck. Fitzpatrick shot in, and motivation coming from the Selects bench across the ice, trying to get his team fired up and into this game. Saying they got a little bit more to give here, as a couple chances on back-to-back shifts for the Stars. Player wins it back. Larkin, shot, blocker save, rebound. Player trying to battle it at home. Player ends up on top of Mason, and now she'll get up, and that'll be held on to there. Another opportunity for the Stars. Offensive zone draw. 16:01 remaining here. Player finds McGuigan, who lets the shot go and steered away. Shot from the point, blocked over to the far side half wall, clearing through the middle. Off a skate now, finds the way out, but too far for McLean, and worked back. Up McLean, mishandles it. McInnes works it up ahead. Can't get it in deep. McLean has numbers, 3-on-2. Tries to find McCaddy, too far to her reach. McCaddy far side, dumps it down in. Bouncing puck, done almost like a ground ball. Fields the puck and holds on for a whistle. Face off, gonna go to the glove hand side. Tied at 2 here still. 15 and a half minutes remaining in the third period. Puck in the corner. Battled there. Tanner trying to work it out, but it'll be collected. Bradley wheels the back of her net, chipping it off the backside of McKenzie, trying to get it out of the zone. Now it does. Lutley overskates it, and Bria Tanner works it back. Has Chisholm. Tanner's shot sent wide. In behind the net, Tanner picking it up over to the half wall. She reverses. Her and Allie Chisholm out there pestering the puck. Fitzpatrick chipping it out off the boards and into the neutral zone. Gradone will pressure it. It'll be sent down. Fife Francis McDonald pass. That should have been icing, as that was on the other side of center, but no, says the official. Shot there through traffic, fighting it off, was done. Mullins, half wall, finds the hot hand of Walker. One-on-one, Walker's going to chip it in. She'll get mixed up, and that'll be a call here, as McIntyre getting in the way too long, as Walker chipped it in and tried to get around her. McIntyre will sit for 2 minutes or less, as she couldn't get out of the way. She stayed just too long enough to draw the call. Walker trying to step around her, trying to get around her, but couldn't do so. It'll draw the call, and a power play upcoming for the Stars. Lutley, Mullins, and Player with Larkin and Fitzpatrick on the point. Offensive zone draw. Lutley will dig in here. 14:29 remaining on the third period clock. Power play for the Stars. One into the corner, trying to get it out of their zone, is Ashton McCaddy. Will help support the defenseman down low, as Lila Burris out there with Carrie Dorion here on the point for the Selects to start off this kill. Held at the line. Larkin, it teetered over top of the line, now sent out. The linesman looked like she was going to whistle it down for a high stick, but they play on. Her hands started to go up towards her face, but end up not whistling it down. Larkin shot blocked. Mullins far corner. Back to the point. Richards trying to poke it out. Fitzpatrick held it, and just momentarily as that gets set down, Carrie Dorion will head off for a change, as Burris and her kill off the first minute of the power play successfully, as that puck now up for Lutley through the neutral zone. Lutley over the blue line. Back, here's a chance. Walker shot high, blocker save, rebound, bobbled in front. Another chance, and they score! Picking up the rebound and ripping it upstairs. And Lexi McIntyre. My apologies. That's Caitlin McInnes And she'll make it 3-2 with the Stars lead again. What a job there by the forward, Caitlin McInnes, finding the rebound, and Walker's going to pick up her third point on the assist there. A power play point for her and a power play goal for the Stars. Have them up again by one as the Selects once again trailing here in the third period. They look to respond. Player in there in her own zone, helping her defenseman out, working it around for the most recent goal scorer. Or so no, she changed as player stays out, but the wingers change. That shot goes high off the stick and out of the zone. Dumped. An attempt goes off the skate and into the bench of the Selects. They'll stop play. So I believe because Braylon Walker was the one who shot the puck on net and it was the rebound of her shot, she should pick up the assist on it. So that'll be her third point of the game, I believe, as Fitzpatrick will go back into her zone, work it up for the 2 goal scorer, 1 assist getter in Braylon Walker, who clears it down. Not enough for icing. Here's a turnover. Mullins walks it in. Mullins shot off the glove and over to the far side. Stopped up. Boyle reverses in behind her own net, as that'll be Grinton, who will try to work it up. Pressure, though, and sent back in by Lutley, as her and Mullins will peel off. Walker will stop up in front of the Selects net and wait for them to work it out. Worked up the wall for Rogan Vint. Gets pressured by McInnes, the most recent goal scorer for the Stars. Dumps it right in on net where she just scored on, as she's going to give chase. Boyle works it to the far side, chipping it into the neutral zone, right onto the stick of Fitzpatrick to Bradley, and that'll get sent right back in. The Stars looking to just keep everything down in this end, as the best offense is good defense, as it's easier to defend when you're 200 feet from your net. Into the middle of the ice, Tanner can't collect. Over to the far side, McInnes trying to get it in deep. Her and McGuigan battling, far side in front of their bench. Chip play into the middle of the ice. Here's Player. She'll go 1-on-3, or really 1-on-4. She tries to get it in past Burris. Good job, Burris, chipping it up the wall on a nice defensive play there as it's worked back. Allie Chisholm trying to jump the puck in deep. Can't do so as it's now cleared into the neutral zone. Tanner just in front of the red line, dumps it all the way down. No icing on the play. They'll signal that as it's worked up to the point. Conley holds the line. Ainsley Conley, got to be careful. She was pressured there by McInnes. That's Kaylin McInnes who has the go-ahead goal for the Stars here in the third period. Still tons of time left on the clock. 10:50 remaining here in the third. Tanner back to the point. Conley cycles it down low for Fife Francis McDonald, centering pass. Larkin picks it off and clears it out of harm's way. Lutley in there to help out. Good support from the center as she flips it up on a sauce pass into the neutral zone. Picked up on the Caps logo and wheeled right back. Conley works it ahead. Chisholm shot there past the glove hand side. Wide, rattles around the boards off the bench and trying to get right back into the action and get something moving is Ashton McHattie. Mullins picks it up through the neutral zone. Over the blue line, Mullins dumps it right in. Bouncing puck, fought off by Mason. Walker sending it right back in below the goal line as the Stars are going to force the Selects to come all 200 feet every time they have the puck, as McLean poked off of her stick. McHattie works it for McIntyre. Back over. Here's a shot. That sends off the end wall, and Dunn will grab it off the end wall rebound and hold on for a whistle and a stoppage of play here with 9:41 remaining on the third and final period of the game, unless overtime is forced. Certainly, by the way things have been going, it certainly seems that it could be a possibility. They've been tied up 0-0, obviously, to start the game. That continued all the way through the first period, and then a 2-2 score after 2, and then now a 3-2 score 10.5 minutes into the third period. McIntyre pressured by McGuigan and delayed offside will stop play. And the whistle will go, and an offside call will force the puck just outside of the zone here, just below us. To the right, McInnes is going to head off. Lutley out there with McKenzie. And Brooke McDonald, that's Josie Goudon, as she'll give chase. Goudon will pressure the puck, force it to the short side, get a stick on it. That'll break up the cross-ice pass, is flipped up and not connecting there. The Stars looking to get it back deep. Bella Fitzpatrick over the blue line. Lutley has to work it back. They'll regroup in the neutral zone. Pass intended for Goudon, who's going to chip it up into the neutral zone. McKenzie into her own zone. That was definitely offside at the line. No call on the play. The ref brought her whistle to her mouth. I thought she was going to blow it down, but kept play going. As that puck at the point sent back in and all the way around. Myers will stop up in behind her net, look for an option, find McKenzie on the short side half wall. Centering pass right on the stick of McLean. Got to be careful. I mean, she's up there, I believe, one of the top point getters in the league, as her and the rookie forward in the Moncton Rockets, Annabelle Daniel, in a race for the top point getter here in the U18 Maritime Female Hockey League, as it gets sent back outside of the line. Burris got to be careful on touches to stop play as my player works it up. Here's McInnes over the blue line, shot right in on, and the rebound sat there, and pulling it in with her stick to her glove. Stopping play is Lydia Mason for a whistle. Offensive zone drop player, McGuigan out there with number 18, the most recent goal scorer, Kaylin McGinnis. Face off, Burris, a hard rim to the far side. Tanner picking it up with speed, gets center, dumps it in. Played there, nice job to keep things moving. Tanner in a battle, she goes down. Matheson makes her way to her feet, puck pinned against the boards, and now it'll work out. Back to the point, Conley works it D to D. Lila Burris, shot blocked by McGuigan. Larkin in the corner, trying to go D to D. Tanner back to the point. Conley moves it to the outside, trying to get it back down low. Tanner centering pass, Conley in front, can't bury it home. As that play will get poked back, Burris trying to get it back in deep off the skate. A player to the point, covering for her, Ainsley Conley, as it cycled back down for Tanner. Tanner up over top into the high slot. She'll drop it off. Conley, backhand pass. Burris, one-timer attempted. Backdoor, sent wide by Bria Tanner as she was alone backdoor. McGuigan chipping it, but not out all the way down the ice, and that'll be a delayed call as player was flying out of the zone, had a step and a head contact. Call will be called here. Wait to see if it's a 2 or a 4. But a penalty here to Ainsley Conley. 2 minutes for a head contact. And a power play coming up here for the Stars. Lutley wins it back to the point. Fitzpatrick for Larkin. Shot sent in, and glove save, but rebound picked up. McLean will just pin it on the wall, and she'll try to eat as much time as she can. Lutley trying to kick it out. Puck battled for on the end wall. Mullins in there. It's poked out. Player in there trying to work it out. Mullins spinning towards the net. Can't get it home as it'll be sent out into the neutral zone. Here's a step for McIntyre with some speed. Lexi McIntyre driving. Shot fought off by Dunn as she got a stick on it. McLean picking it up, trying to work it to the middle. McLean spinning. Shot sent wide. Fitzpatrick in the slot in her own zone. Clears it out of the zone and sent back. Larkin pressured there by McHattie, and now into the neutral zone. Mullins works it up through the Middle of the ice shot there, blockered away, rebound for Mullins, leaves it for Walker. Walker cycles off the skate of the official down low as Boyle picks it up. Clearing attempt, fanned on, but McCaddy now finds the stick of Sean Richards into one-on-one. Richards over the blue line, shot blocked by Matheson. Richards picks it up in the corner. She's pestered 1-on-3 there. She'll just get it in deep. Matheson will collect it. 45 seconds remaining here on the power play for the Stars. In behind, stretch pass goes off the body at center ice. Can't get it as it's chipped ahead for Sean Richards. Too far, and Fitzpatrick works it right back off the chip-in attempt as Fitzpatrick shot there from distance past the blocker side. McGuigan in there trying to get the puck back. That'll be Grinton up the wall, and Richards will dump it down. 15 seconds remaining here on the power play for the Stars. Dunn leaves the puck in behind for Matheson, who will pick it up and wheel it. Stretch pass in behind the intended target, but end up right on net as Burris getting pressured. Lutley was going to pressure Burris and turn it over. Good job there by Lutley on the forecheck. Goes off and out into the neutral zone now as Bradley collects. D to D, far side Larkin up the wall. Trying to work it in was Grudon and can't get it all the way in deep enough. And now back into the neutral zone, the Selects. Can't get it in deep though. Bradley, as the neutral zone play continues back and forth here between the Selects and the Stars. McIntyre spinning away for some pressure. Trying to get her feet moving up ice with some speed. McIntyre through center over the blue line. McIntyre chipping it to herself. She'll get it in the corner. Lexi McIntyre centers, and that shot goes wide. Picking up the rebound, McIntyre to the point. She'll walk it down the wall there. That's going to be number 10. And a delayed call coming up in front in a power play for the Selects here under 4 minutes remaining. And a holding call coming up and a power play for the Selects. Holding will be the call, as I didn't quite see it, but a holding call in front of the net. And a power play here for the Selects under 4 minutes to go. They'll try to tie things up. As going to head to the box will be Autumn Bradley here in the third period. The Selects looking to tie it up once again. They've trailed 3 separate times in this game now as they look to battle it back to even once again. McIntyre, Burris, play, give and go, shot wide. McLean, a big save. Desperation, Dunn goes to her blocker side and kicks the save out. All alone to the side of the net was McLean, but couldn't get it past the pad. Player is going to pressure that puck, and she's really going to make the Selects go all 200 feet here to earn their goal. McIntyre. A man pass connects there in the neutral zone. That's worked through here by MacArthur onto the stick of Fife Francis McDonald. Dropped for McLean to the point. McIntyre walks middle, finds McLean, turns it over and trying to clear it. Desperation dive there by Larkin. Got to get back. MacArthur walks in. High shot there over top of the net as that puck all the way back into the neutral zone. Burris plays it there for Hallie Rose McLean, who works it over the line. McLean spinning, and that'll be sent out. Good job by McLean to hold the line. Toe drag shot there, blocked by Mullins in the high slot. Burris keeping the play alive down low. She tries to work it out. Smart play there, though, by Gradon, trying to pin it up and kill as much time. Shot, rebound, battled for, and a whistle goes. For some reason, the puck was still loose. No one had control of it. Trying to bang it home, Fife Francis McDonald, and the puck was sitting there. I don't know why the whistle went, though. The puck was still loose. And a whistle will stop play, and a timeout called by the Selects, and we'll be back here after this 30-second timeout by the Welcome back here for the last 2.5 minutes of this Sunday afternoon matchup. The Select's going to take all the time they can possibly get, and they'll send out a sixth attacker, so 6-on-4 here for the Selects here. 35 seconds on the power play remaining. 2.5 minutes on the clock. Puck picked up in middle. Puck to the point, held in just onside. I don't know how that stayed in. Carrie Dorion just keeping it in as she has it on the far side. She'll let a shot go wide. Pass the glove, work to the short side. McLean back to the point. McIntyre over to the far side, walking shot, scores! And we're tied up at 3 on a 6-on-4 goal from the point shot. Beating the glove side, Carrie Dorion ties it up at 3 apiece. And a costly penalty is going to cost the Stars as we're tied up here. 2:03 remaining on the clock as the Selects, for the third time to this game, have come back and have tied it up at 3 apiece. Face off, goes back. Stars looking to get right back in here on the attack. Here's a chance. Walker trying to finish off what she started in the first period. Over the blue line, offside by Richards as she made a move over the line and couldn't hold up Chisholm. So my apologies, it's actually going to be number 17 who got that goal for the Selects in Carly Boyle. So Carly Boyle will pick up the tying goal, not Carrie Dorion. Their numbers look really similar up from where I'm standing. A little bit of a distance between me and them all the way up here. So my apologies to her, but what a game we've had. It goes into the end boards. Looking for a call now it's back to the point. Back down the wall here's a chance for the Stars. 1 minute and 5 seconds here remaining on the clock. Worked up, here's Fitzpatrick. Good job there by Walker to stay on side. Shot there, Mullins into the chest and held on to for a whistle by the goaltender. The coaches for the Subway Selects having a conversation with the ref on the far side. I want an explanation on the assumable body check in the far side corner. Hard rim to the far side by Dorion. Fife Francis McDonald plays it for McLean here with some speed to the neutral zone, off the stick and back. McInnes dumps it in. She's got the third goal for the Stars. Was the go-ahead goal. Now it's the game. As the game's tied at 3, it'll be a tying goal as of right now. D-to-D, Fitzpatrick picks it up, chipping it up, trying to get it out. Turned over almost to McLean. Got to be careful here. Last minute, 25 seconds. Mullins breaks it in over the line. Going to drive it down. Mullins shot. Rebound. Player looking for it. It goes into the corner. McLean clearing attempt. Back to the point. Fitzpatrick cycling it high. Glove down by McLean. Chip back. Fitzpatrick holds the line. Mullins trying to get it in deep. Down to the last 5 seconds, and it looks like this one is going to be headed to overtime, as 60 minutes isn't enough to settle the score between these two teams, as we will be headed to overtime here. A 5-minute 3-on-3 overtime live on High Button Sports. We'll be back for that here in a few moments. Welcome back here for this fourth period of overtime here inside the Credit Union Place in Summerside, PEI, live on High Button Sports. What a game we've been treated with here on this Sunday afternoon matchup. Three separate down by one comebacks for the Selects to send them to overtime here against the Stars as they start out with Sean Richards and Hallie Rose McLean. Richards, nice move shot, up and over the net. As Sean Richards, Hallie Rose McLean, and Lexi McIntyre out here to start for the Selects. Got to be careful here, can't get too offensive. Fitzpatrick pressuring Richards. Far side, McIntyre will spin back and settle things down over on the far side. McIntyre for McLean. Over the blue line, Hallie Rose McLean works it down low into the corner. Pressured by Fitzpatrick. She'll try to keep her the outside. McLean cuts to the net, looking back door. Mullins picking it off. She'll take her time, try to spin away for some pressure and wait for some help here. She'll take it up the far side. She'll stop up and find Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, stretch pass, here's a chance, Lutley in alone. Lutley, shot there, goes off the stick of Burris. Walker out now, she's got two. Burris stops up, works it up the wall. MacArthur works it back, drop pass there. Burris on a nice little switch play there. Burris is gonna go and drive towards the net, shot there, scores! Lila Burris right down Main Street, and she ends it here in the overtime. 3:37 on the clock in overtime. Lila Burris walks down Main Street and rips it past the glove of goaltender Grace Dunn, and she wins it here for the Subway Selects in their final game of this Summerside Showcase. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Logan Crothers with High Button Sports. Stay tuned for the last game of the showcase here between the Wolves and the Rockets following this game live on High Button Sports. But that's it for me for this one. Have a good one, folks.